Does somebody want to give David Humphreys a call?
Hey Austin, if you're the only one there, you could probably just put the mic closer to you.
Good point.
Because he's not absent.
Okay.
I moved the mic a lot farther to the guests who were talking this morning for
You're fine. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I'd like to call the meeting of the Board of Adjustments to order at 6:41. I see we have a quorum present with Mike Farley, David Humphreys, Tom Marr, and Parag Patel present virtually. The only one we're missing is Mike Gilboy. Next, we need to adopt the agenda. Do I hear a motion to adopt the agenda as presented, or does anyone have any changes?
I make a motion to adopt as presented.
Okay, do I hear a second?
A second.
Okay. Further discussion? All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion passes unanimously. Now you will all elect a chairperson and a vice chair. Do I hear any nominations?
Yeah, I nominate David Humphreys as the chair.
Mike? Okay, Mike, I'm nominating David.
Again, Mike, been a long time. So Mike and I have done this for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if I don't mind being chair, but I'm going to nominate him for vice chair.
I will accept, David. I will accept.
Okay. Don't we have to have votes for those stuff?
Yeah, we'll vote for those. We'll vote for those separately.
Okay.
Okay. So, do I hear a motion to appoint?
I beat you to
Do I hear a motion to appoint David Humphreys as chairman of the Marvin Board of Adjustments?
I'd like to appoint David Humphreys as the chairperson of the Marvin Board of Adjustments.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second it.
Okay. And further discussion? All's in favor?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously. And do I hear a motion to appoint Mike Farley as vice chair?
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Mike Farley as vice chairman of the Board of Adjustment in the Village of Marvin.
Okay. And do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded. Okay. Further discussion? All's in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Okay, David, you can take over from here if you'd like.
Good grief. It's been a long time since I've done one of these, so I'm not sure I know what to do. By the way, so in my connection difficulties, hold on a second, because I got to go pull up the agenda. I've lost the agenda.
Okay.
All right, here we are. I got it. No problem. Bear with me. While I've done plenty of the online meeting stuff, I don't normally do it from home, and so in unfamiliar territory with this stuff I'm using now.
You're fine.
So we need to adopt the minutes from last time. Are there any, and we've got them right here, are there any questions or any concerns about the minutes as they're presented?
David, since you were the only one there.
Yeah. So, do I have a motion to approve the minutes from previous meetings as they stand?
David, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes as report on the agenda.
Second.
I have a second. So we can approve the minutes of previous meetings of 9/2/15.
Okay.
Okay, so we don't have any new cases We've got some orientation to do. I'm not real sure how to do this orientation, so if anyone wants to assist with this, that would be greatly appreciated. But let me do say a couple of things here. So this is a quasi-judicial position. And when someone comes in to present their case, it's as if they're going into the court of law. And we are to hear that case, and we are to decide that case based strictly on the evidence that's presented to us. So, that being the case, and what I'm sure, Mike and I've seen this so many times, you have people come in, they just want to give you a rundown of what they're going through, expect you to vote in their favor. They have absolutely no evidence whatsoever. That's just not something we can go on. We have that. What you have to get used to is this need for them to provide something that is good evidence and is not. What to do is to go to that person and assist them as much as possible and say, do you have? And ask for that specific item that we would need to make it possible for this person to realize whatever it is they're looking for. Because really, again, we're making our decisions based strictly on the evidence. So we, if they can present the evidence, can't present the evidence, then that's a whole issue. I don't know how much, familiarity you guys have with the ordinance. And I don't know that that's necessarily all that necessary to be so involved in it now, but when we get a variance hearing or something to that effect, you will need to know what the ordinances say about that particular situation. When we get into this, and if we're going to have a variance hearing, there are particular criteria that have to be met.
I'll share my screen and show you those criteria right now.
That would be great.
Yeah. Okay. Let me know if you can hear this. See this. Can everyone see this screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
As Dave was saying, the Board of Adjustment before granting a variance shall make the following findings. And you have to determine each of these to be true when you listen to the case from the applicant. Each of these 5 things in letter 1, property owner complies with the provision of this ordinance, she can secure no reasonable return or make any reasonable use of his or her property. Well, I guess before going into this, describing what a variance is, someone wants to do something with their property that because of a hardship from their property, they're not able to do, they're not able to comply with our order. It cannot be a personal reason. The problem that they're trying to address cannot be caused by them, basically, if that makes sense. It has to be caused by a peculiarity with their house or their property. And you have to determine that as well. So hardship result in an application is suffered by the applicant's property, and the hardship does not result of the applicant's own action. Hardship is peculiar to the applicant's property. So those are the first things you have to determine whether the variance is even viable, the application is viable. Then, to determine that if the variance should be passed, you look at that the variance is in harmony with the general purpose and intent of the ordinance preserves its spirit, that in granting the variance, public safety and welfare have been assured, substantial justice has been done, and that the reasons set forth in the application and hearing justify the granting of the variance. And as David said, a judicial, which means you can only accept evidence heard during the meeting. You can't talk to anyone that's related, you can't hear about it before the meeting. You have to listen to the evidence and make a fair judgment.
Real quick.
Yes.
Number 1 there, those are 5 findings of facts, right?
Right.
That all have to be met. before we
Yes.
proceed. So if any one of those is not met, then the variance would be declined.
You're learning fast.
I looked at my notes from 2013.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. Thank you.
Rohit, could you give us an example? I know one of the things that in past years has always been difficult is understanding what is meant by the hardship is suffered by the applicant's property. As opposed to anybody coming in and saying, I can't afford this or whatever.
Right. Yeah, that's a pretty good example. If an ordinance to pay more money to get something done, that's a problem of the person, not the problem of the property. But let's say if there's a creek on this person's property that for some reason dips into their property, and every one of their neighbors can build a sidewalk and they can't, then we might consider in very specific circumstances allowing them to do something that would otherwise be against our stormwater. It has to be in that the ordinance is not allowing them to do something like the parameters of our ordinance prevent them because they can't fit it in their property because of some, because maybe the properties are weird shape or there's features of the property that are not common, something like that. Does that make sense, everyone?
Yeah, okay. And so when we get into a hearing, I will specifically go through these particular items one at a time. Discuss those, so that opportunity will exist in the hearing. I'm not real sure what else, since I'm kind of jumping into this, to discuss with respect to orientation. What else should I be telling you?
There's not really much left. Austin?
I just included a few materials in your packet, just general do's and don'ts, specifically for boards and generals, and then specifically for just the Board of Adjustment. If you happen to receive information about a case beforehand, you must disclose it at the meeting. Don't contact the applicant afterwards to say congratulations. We don't want to call your decision into question. Pretty common sense stuff. I included a draft of the order of business so you can be more familiar with how meetings will progress. And a list of motions according to Robert's rules and parliamentary procedure, but we're not this formal. It's just there for you to look at. Rohit, did you have anything specific you wanted to touch on in regards to... I'm not sure if you had anything else.
Yeah, there's one other point that was brought up that I want to talk about. Is the understanding of the ordinances. Obviously, we're not saying that all of you need to read the entire book of ordinances between now and the variance hearing. Austin, the variance application in the package before the hearing.
We should.
Yeah, okay. Well, in that case, the applicant will, in the application, this is an empty application, so I'll just show you where, they will be describing what ordinance they wish to seek a variance for and why. And so that is the section that you can read up on. We can also just send you a link to our ordinances online. So you don't have to become familiar with the entire book of ordinances, just the section of the ordinance that this variance is.
Rohit, you'll be providing staff analysis, correct?
Ask that I would have is that.
Sorry, two people are talking at the same time, but I think Mike started first. So.
Go ahead.
So one ask that I would have is that you guys send us the appropriate link to the ordinance that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, Austin.
Along with the application.
Yeah, definitely will do.
And the other point I just want to bring up here is that, for Parag and Tom, we will have the village attorney with guidance. So there's really no big mistakes that we can make unless our chairman goes off the rails.
Yeah, this should be fine.
That's a good possibility.
Sounds good. Hey guys, I just had a quick question. So we're determining the hardship based on what's presented at the hearing?
Yeah,
We're not going on a site visit, right?
No, you don't have to do anything there. Applicant owe all evidence that you need to determine whether this is a hardship of the property.
Okay.
In fact, Rohit, would it not be good to say that it's relatively not so kosher to go out there and look at the property or go?
Yes, actually you shouldn't. You should not go look at the property.
If you
You
do
should
make
not talk to
a,
the applicant. You don't do anything. Just look at the application and come to the meeting.
if you do so happen to be at that property, that is something you should disclose at the beginning of the meeting. But it is general best practice not to do a site visit, especially without contacting staff beforehand to at least alert us. Rohit, you'll be
Right.
providing staff analysis, correct, for the case? Because you do qualify as an
Yes, I will.
expert.
I will just be presenting the case, but I won't be putting my opinion in it or anything. It will just be like, this is what the applicant is saying in a memo. And on that topic, if you happen to know the applicant, like if it turns out that you're friends with the applicant or business partners with the applicant, you also have to disclose that. And depending on the relationship between you and the applicant, you might have to recuse yourself.
Okay.
In case that comes up, I don't know who knows who, but.
And this is an important point. Huh?
Austin, I was just gonna say, it might be helpful for Brog and Tom if you send out the, I don't know if you still have it there, the packet from the last, Board of Adjustment, the case that we heard.
Mhm.
I don't know if we have that, because that is long past its required retention period. So it's very possible that my predecessor or the predecessor before her could have disposed of that. I will look into it though. One thing I wanted to say is that this is important, should any one of you all have to recuse yourself in any case, it's vital that everybody else is in attendance. Otherwise, the variance cannot be granted because we currently do not have alternates appointed to the board, and a variance requires a 4/5 vote.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think that's it. Unless anyone has any questions.
The other point here is the applicant we have to hear this case within a certain amount of days. Right?
Yes. The application was submitted some time ago, and I think Austin determined that we need to have this meeting by November 18th.
Yeah,
Is that right?
Rohit, you notified the rest of staff that you received the application on October 9th. 40 days would put us roughly at Wednesday the 18th.
Okay.
Are you guys good to go ahead and move on to scheduling the meeting?
Right, exactly. Let's take questions about more. Are there any more questions about who you are and what is a variance and what to do or not to do? Then we can go on to scheduling.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Okay, and if you have any more questions, feel free to email myself or Austin.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be happy to help.
So,
All right, y'all ready to move on and decide on a date? Date, when we're gonna have this hearing?
well, before you guys jump into it,
Wide open.
I have talked to Mike Gilboy, who couldn't be here tonight. He is going to be out of the country the week of November 9th through the 13th, which is not this coming week, but the fall, which is, well, the 9th and the 13th, he's going to be out of the country, but he will be back that weekend. So he will be available Monday the 16th or the 18th, which would be the deadline. if you guys select a date that he cannot attend, you all will just need to make sure you're in attendance so the variance has a fair chance at it being approved.
So Monday, the 16th is the earliest?
Let's
Maybe
see.
next week.
Yes.
We have to put out a public hearing notice that requires 10 days notice, so
Okay.
we're very limited in the days that we can pick. That's fine, I think it'll help us pick a date faster.
So what about Monday, the 16th? Does that work for everybody?
I cannot do the 16th. The 17th or 18th work fine for me.
All right,
And
so,
guys, the week of the 9th would work as well if we have to put 10 days out.
Yeah, but Mike Farley's not, Mike Gilboy's not in the country.
And you guys can hold the meeting then, but you all would have to be here. So no one can have anything suddenly come up.
I got you.
We could, I mean, we could.
And you guys brought up,
17th is the, it have the most members available.
Yes.
I do want to point out there's two
So-
nights that you guys can't
Sure.
pick. Tuesday the 10th is a council meeting and Tuesday the 17th is a planning board meeting. So you just can't pick either of those two dates.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but let's look at it like this. Could we do it earlier on the 17th, like maybe 5:30 and then just, or should we just not try to do that?
Well, you just don't want it to run into, you don't want it to run into planning board.
Because some of these hearings, you know, I don't know how simple this will be. Some of them run.
Yeah,
Some of them run.
that's true. We could do the 18th, I mean, everyone's fine with that.
I'm not sure we have a whole lot of choice.
Yeah,
So how about the 18th? Is everybody good on the 18th?
Works for me.
All right. So do I have a motion to hold a meeting on the 18th, the hearing?
time?
Time. Yes. Let's see, should we, Mike, what do we normally start with? 7 o'clock?
I think we started at 6.
What about 6 o'clock? Can everybody do 6 o'clock?
Is it gonna be remote like this or in person?
Yes. We'll do it in, with, hybrid options like we're doing all our meetings, so you can come either in person or on web.
Okay.
So let's plan for the meeting on the 18th at 6 PM. If everybody's okay with that, do I have a motion to have the hearing for this variance hearing on the 16th at 6 PM?
18th?
I'm sorry, the 18th, yes, thank you.
Motion, we have the hearing on the 18th at 6 PM.
I second that motion.
Was that Mike that seconded?
Yes.
Okay, want to make sure.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Great.
All right, is there any other business we need to conduct?
I will.
Do we have action items?
No, there's one last thing. Since you guys approved these minutes, Mr. Chairman will need to sign them at some point.
I'm sorry, say that again?
David, you'll need to sign these minutes at some point since you're the chairman.
Oh, okay. How do I do, I guess I'll just need to come up to the city hall.
That'll be fine. Just we're here
How soon can I do that?
as soon as you want.
Okay,
Tomorrow we have a council meeting most of the day, but so I wouldn't pick tomorrow.
all right. Is there any other, I don't think there's any other business we need to attend to.
I don't think so. We just need to make sure we have our action items. If it's not on the agenda, we just,
There's no more.
yeah, that's it. Then just, there's a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Who made the motion?
I'll make the first motion. I'll make the motion to adjourn. How you do that?
Tom, you give me a second?
Yeah, I get you a second.
All in favor to adjourn this meeting, the Board of Adjustment meeting on October 28th at 7:05 PM, say aye.
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 All right, I reckon we're done.
There you go.
Excellent. Thanks so much.